When it comes to cleaning your bike, it is no secret that a pressure washer is the ultimate hack to get the best results every time. But like this pressure washer to the left of me, they're normally a bit too budget, too small and not quite good enough for the job. Or like the pressure washer to the right of me, they're too expensive, too big and bulky and far too overpowered for the job. Today we're going to be looking at an option that might just wash away the competition. So in this video we're going to be trying out the mobile pressure washer specifically made for bikes, e-bikes and motorcycles by the brand Muc-Off. And before we get into this video, I did actually plan to do this video in a very different way, but this is how that turned out. Yeah, somehow I managed to write my van off in the winter time on the way to do this video. This video was meant to be filmed in the winter out the back of my van in a remote location, but instead we're going to do it in summertime in my garden with a fairly clean bike. Let's do it. And this is not a sponsored video, I did buy this product. All the necessary attachments and accessories come packed inside the Muc-Off pressure washer. So of course, this includes a hose and a gun with a quick release button to detach the hose. And of course an owner's manual. With this pressure washer being a battery powered pressure washer, of course it comes along with a rechargeable battery. The battery is a 40 volt, 2500 milliamp hour or 2.5 amp hour powered battery. There's a button to check the battery life and the insert for the charger. Next we have the charger itself, and it comes with an adapter for international plugs. The bundle included some fast action bike cleaner as well as a snow foam gun, which attaches to the bike cleaner bottle. The bundle also includes an extender attachment for the lances that come included. The kit comes with 3 different lances for 3 different jobs. We have a bicycle lance, a motorcycle lance, and an adjustable lance. And a spray gun attachment for the bike cleaner bottle. With everything unboxed, we can now start taking a look at setting up the pressure washer, and the first thing we need to do is attach the hose to the water gun. Because it's quick release, the hose is a push fit into the gun. The pressure washer unit itself is also quick release, so this is also a push fit. With the hose and gun now set up, I can attach the extender onto the gun. This allows us to add the motorcycle lance. I then added 10 litres of water straight into the pressure washer unit. With the unit nearly full up, I could take the 40 volt battery and put it into the unit by opening the battery pack door, slotting the battery in and pushing until it clicks. Then it was time to try the power button. So that is now the Muc-Off pressure washer all set up and almost ready to be used on the bike. But before we use it, there's a few things we need to do in preparation before we clean the bike. To prepare the bike to be cleaned, I like to remove the battery completely from the bike and cover up any open connections like the BMS communication cable and the power cable underneath the battery lid. So previously when cleaning my bikes, I used to cover up the display, the regen thumb throttle, the brakes and the throttle, everything on the handlebars basically, because there's quite a lot of electronics up here. But I found that to be a little bit of a waste of time, and these days I tend to just not spray anything up here on the handlebars. Gets a bit of overspray on it, but that's no problem. You can clean it with a brush or clean it with a sponge. There's really no need to be pressure washing everything on your handlebars too much. And while we're on the subject of avoiding areas, the other areas that I definitely recommend avoiding on the Surrons to avoid any sort of water damage is the motors, the controller, and basically anywhere up in that controller area, because that's where all the wiring of the bike sits. If you try to avoid pressure washing that section there and the motor section, these can be cleaned without the use of a pressure washer, but just with the use of brushes and things like that, and they can handle having a bit of a rinse down. But I really do recommend that we don't use pressured water on these areas. It's just not needed, maybe for other areas of the bike like the tyres, but just not for the main electronics. So before even getting the bike wet, I like to attack the bike with a bit of chain cleaner. That's just because the chain is one of the greasiest, dirtiest areas on the bike. It's got chain lube and stuff all over it, so I like to try and get that as clean as possible before rinsing the rest of the bike down. So let's clean the chain. When I clean my bike, I treat it a little bit like a car in the sense that I like to do what's called a snow foam wash first and then a contact wash second. So the snow foam wash consists of covering the bike in soap and then just rinsing it off to get most of the layers of dirt, dust, debris, whatever, off the bike for a start before actually touching the bike and then risking wiping dirt and debris all over the bike, scratching your graphics, metal, whatever else. The Muc-Off pressure washer comes along with a snow foam cannon, which attaches to the pressure washer of course, and the cannon actually screws onto the Muc-Off bottles, so you can attach the bottles to the cannon and then just attach the cannon to the gun, which is exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take the motorcycle cannon off the gun, we're going to get the snow foam cannon, and that's going to go straight onto the gun, just like that. It was finally time to try the pressure washer, and we're going to start in the eco power mode with the bike cleaner snow foam. Once it got going, it was throwing foam all over the bike and it had quite good coverage and the snow foam was really thick. So usually I'd let that foam sit and dwell on the bike for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, but today it's 20 odd degrees, it's a hot day, that soap's going to start burning on there, so we're going to pressure wash that off really quickly using the motorcycle lance with the Muc-Off pressure washer. Back to the motorcycle lance, I started to rinse down the bike from all of the snow foam. At this point, I still had the unit in eco power mode and I was impressed with how much power the pressure washer actually had. It wasn't powerful enough to cause any damage, yet it was still plenty powerful enough to blast off the dirt. So that is now the first layer of foam and dirt all washed away off the bike, and already there's two things that I have to say about this pressure washer that I'm absolutely loving. The first good thing I want to mention is actually about the hose. The hose isn't one of those annoying hoses that is constantly coiling up on itself and just annoying everybody, because the one thing that I hate on a pressure washer is a hose that just wants to escape from you every 2 minutes, or it spends its whole life curled up on the floor like that and it's just impossible to maneuver. This hose itself is a really nice flexible hose. It doesn't stay coiled up, although it will return to the coil position because it's been sat like that for so long. It's so easily maneuverable and it's a really flexible hose. The second thing that I wanted to say is that with the motorcycle land, it's actually quite powerful. I've noticed how much it's taken a lot of that dirt off the bike, and although the bike wasn't as filthy as it would be in the midst of winter, it has got a lot of that dirt that's been sat on my bike for weeks now off with just a bit of soap and just the pressure washer power itself. It's not overpowered, I don't feel like it's doing any damage, but at the same time it's getting rid of that dirt and debris exactly how I'd want it to. So the next stage is we're going to get some more foam on the bike and then we're going to give it a contact wash all over. Let's do it. For the contact wash, I have a small selection of things that I like to use on the bike, which consists of a selection of brushes, a sponge and a bucket mixed with the bike cleaner. I also like to recoat the bike in snow foam for the contact wash as well. So the bike has now had its contact wash and it's definitely looking a lot better, but now we've got to rinse all of that soap and all of the dirt that we've taken off with the contact wash. We've got to get it off the bike. So we're going to come back to the pressure washer. We're going to insert the motorcycle lance once again, turn the pressure washer on. And the pressure washer has two modes. It has a full power mode, which is 2 bars, and it has a 1 power mode, which is 1 bar. So we're going to put it in the eco mode and we're going to see how the eco mode handles on the pressure washer. So hopefully you can hear the pressure washer working, and you can hear that it's got a bit of power in it even in eco mode. I'm actually pretty impressed of how much power this has got left in it. Again, not getting too close to the motor and anything like that. I said I don't spray the handlebars, but we'll give them a quick spray. So we've seen what it can do in eco mode. Now let's put it in sports mode. Oh yeah, you can definitely hear the power difference in that. Again, not getting too close to the motor controller, anything like that, but the power difference in that is pretty noticeable, and it's definitely doing what it says on the tin. But now my question is, we've nearly rinsed the whole bike off, we've given the bike a clean with the snow foam lance, which, looking at the snow foam lance, we've not used too much product. We've used a fair bit, but not too much. I guess the real question is, how much water have we used? Okay, so the water has gone down a bit. When I put it in, it was maybe 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches max from the bottom, and that was 10 litres of water. The water's nearly gone down, but saying that, we haven't got much more cleaning or rinsing to do, so let's crack on with it. So the bike's now fully rinsed down of all of the foam, soap, dirt, debris, everything else that was left on the bike, and it's now onto the drying stage, which is arguably the most important part of actually cleaning a bike. So to assist with the drying process of the bike, I have got a DeWalt air blower. This is going to assist in blowing the water out of all the nooks and crannies. It's not necessarily going to dry the bike completely, but it's going to blow a lot of water out of the places you don't want it. But you also have to be careful, because these things can blow water into places that you don't want it. So again, for example, motor, controller, cables, harnesses, that sort of thing, we want to stay away from. My next little secret in the drying process is some bumper and trim shine. This makes the bike look glossy, makes it shine, makes it look sparkly. With having a glittery graphics kit, this is an essential. Next up, we got the tyre shine. You can't be having a clean bike and dirty tyres, and my tyres never look clean after cleaning the bike until we put some tyre shine on. Gives it that wet look and makes them look glossy, makes them look clean, so tyre shine's the one. In the lineup, we also have some Muc-Off brake cleaner. The brake cleaner is obviously to clean your brakes. It's going to get those rotors clean of all of the soap and any contaminants that may be left on your brake rotors after a clean or after riding. And then finally, we've got some, that's not meant to be chain cleaner. We have got some silicone shine, and silicone shine does what it says on the tin. It silicones everything and it shines everything. We need silicone shine because it's going to lubricate and shine up the stanchions on the forks and bits like the rear shock. Any other moving parts that need to be lubricated nicely, silicone shine is going to assist with that. I'm also going to use some microfiber towels to wipe over everything as I do it, but if you want the cleanest bike, this is the secrets and the hack to getting the cleanest bike possible. For the first stage of the drying process, I like to take the air blower and blow off any of the excess water off the bike. Then I like to coat the bike in all of the finishing products, starting with the bumper and trim shine. After coating most of the bike but avoiding the brake rotors, I take the silicone shine and apply that mainly to the stanchions on the forks and the rear shock, but also coat the bike as well. Then I go for the tyre shine. Once again, avoiding the brakes, I usually coat only the sides of the tyres, but for the best results for this video, I'm going to coat the whole tyres. This makes the tyres really slippery, so I do not recommend doing this then riding. Then last but not least, I take the brake cleaner and I like to coat the brakes thoroughly to try and eliminate any contaminants that may have got onto the brakes. So I've now finished the full detailing process on my Surron with the mobile Muc-Off pressure washer, and to be fair, I think it's done a pretty decent job. Considering the Muc-Off pressure washer is a battery powered pressure washer, I was pretty impressed with how much power it actually had and with how long the water lasted inside the pressure washer. For most of the time using it, I was using it in the highest power mode because that's got the most force to get the dirt and the grit off of the bike, but even when we did put it in eco mode, it still had a lot of power, and when it was in, let's call it sport mode, it wasn't using all of that water too quickly. I actually put 10 litres of water into the Muc-Off pressure washer, and I actually ended up tipping away a little bit of water at the end. So the idea of me actually getting the Muc-Off pressure washer in the first place was it was a pressure washer that I'd be able to put in my van, especially during the winter months when the bike was getting absolutely covered when we were going riding, and the bike comes back that thick in mud sometimes, it's actually hard to put the bike in the van in the state it's in because of how disgusting it is. So I actually got the Muc-Off pressure washer in the hopes that we're going to be keeping it in the van and actually using it as a mobile pressure washer. With that being said, Muc-Off have actually done a great job at keeping it small, compact, yet having everything it needs to have all inside of that little machine. I've actually stored all the accessories that come along with the pressure washer back inside of the pressure washer, and now it can easily be put back into the van for storage. I think this pressure washer will be able to clean at least 2 bikes out on the road, providing that you've got at least 10 litres of water and 1 full charge battery. When I finished the wash, I did check the battery, and the battery still has 2 bars of life left in the battery. So again, after cleaning 1 bike, there's still plenty of battery left in that. I think you would definitely get get 2 washes out of that battery life. Not only that, Muc-Off actually offer more batteries as well, so if you do go out on a day out and you've got 4 or 5 bikes coming with you and you want to give them all a clean before putting them back in the van, then you've got the potential of changing the battery as well as bringing plenty of water. So technically the machine will keep going as long as you keep it watered, and as long as you keep power going to it, that machine will keep going. Seeing as we were cleaning a Surron, I didn't actually test any of the other lances. I think the motorcycle one was the ideal one for what we needed it for. The motorcycle lance was plenty powerful enough to clean all the dirt and debris off the bike without causing any damage, and I didn't think that it was too powerful at any point, which is ideal. So maybe in the future, in the winter, when the weather does get worse and the bike is going to be getting caked in mud, we'll come back to this and we'll try this with a much harsher and a much deeper clean to see how the Muc-Off pressure washer actually handles a really dirty bike. We'll try not to do it in the midst of summer next time, and next time I plan a video, I won't go crashing my van on the way to film the video. So now I've got one of the cleanest bikes, all thanks to the help of Muc-Off and the cleaning products that Muc-Off make. Like mentioned, this video is not sponsored. Muc-Off have never been in contact with me, but if you do want to take a look at some of the Muc-Off products, I'll put the link below to the pressure washer, and I'll also put the link below in the description of this video just to the Muc-Off website, so you can go on there and see what products they have available. If you have enjoyed watching this video, make sure you're going down below and hitting that subscribe button to see more content like this going forward in the future, and make sure you're hitting that like button and dropping a comment down below on this video too. So until the next one, I've been Matt Francis, I'm signing out. Peace.